you're new to Harpy, and you want to play a game. Here is a walkthrough for version 35.6. This is Harpy's homepage. Here is your navigation sidebar. You can access your account settings by clicking here. The shortcuts to all your games will live here, as well as your friends. Here is the homepage menu. Click here to come back to the homepage at any time. Click here to access the lobbies. Lobbies are public games set up by game masters who are currently looking for players. So the simplest way to begin to play is to apply to one of these games. You'll be added to the game by the GM and can begin to play with them right away. The other buttons here are for the bundles marketplace, the changelog, and the roadmap. You can come back to the homepage at any time by clicking here. That will take you to the lobbies, and you can click the little house button to see the homepage again. So, to create a new game, we need to click here. Let's say I want to create a new play-by-post game where I roleplay by writing. You can see here that a game needs to be linked to a world codex, because each game takes place in a specific setting, and the codex is the encyclopedia of this setting. That's where you will find your character sheets for your players, the battle maps, the lore entries, etc. So let's go back a little and create a codex first. You can click here and create a codex. Let's call it all, and upload a picture. Anytime you upload a picture, you can crop it as you wish. So let's say about the castle thing. Perfect. So your codices live here in the navigation sidebar under the codex part. In your codex, there are entities. That's the lore entries for characters, NPCs, monsters, places, items, spells, etc. There are tags to help you classify your entities, data tables and random tables, character sheets, dialects, there are languages you can create for your game. Here is your library of media for pictures and music you can upload. Here are your maps, backdrops, and tokens that you can combine in scenes. And here are the bundles. That's where you can download your RP content as a point pipe file to share with other people. You don't actually need anything in your codex to host a game. You don't have to write lore or prep if that's not your style. You'll only need to create entities for your player characters because they will need a character, that's all. So let's do that. To create an entity, click on the little button here. So when creating a character, you will need a name. So let's say Maya. You can add a short description that will be used as a subtitle. That's purely optional. And you can also define a name for the players to see that will not be the real name of the character. Because sometimes you want to hide things from your players. For example, that kind of surprise. Let's say this is this very normal looking guy. If you have player in your game already, you will have an option here to define which player controls this character. There are no players right now in the game, so we don't have the option. And synonyms and tags are for more advanced usage, so I won't cover them right now. Let's create our best Maya in the world. So here he is. The picture is here, the name is here, the description is here, and then you will be able to add description blocks, text, galleries for pictures, etc. Your character appears under the characters list of entities. You can click here to see your entities list differently. Currently, they are grouped by type, and you can also group them by type, but each type is in its own tab. So here are the creatures, here are the places, and here are the characters. You can also choose to see all entities at once, or all your archived entities. You can set up different filtered views, as many as you want, using tags especially. Tags are very powerful tools to assist you in your codex organization and can even allow you to create your own tabs, but that's all advanced use. So now we have a codex and a character for players. So let's create a game. Click here. There are two types of games. The main difference is that they don't use the same interface. Live play is focused on a central space where you can upload a battle map, use an illustration backdrop, or use a collaborative board. It's ideal for live play and works as a virtual tabletop. Play by Post is focused around a roleplay text chat, where you roleplay as your character by writing the dialogue and descriptions. It's ideal for asynchronous play, like in forum posts, where people can post at different moments of the day. The kind of game you want depends on if you want to roleplay by writing or live around the table. So let's create both to see the difference. Let's begin by a play-by-post game, as I wanted to say. So now you notice the world we just created is here. Let's select it. You need a play-by-post game. You need a name for the game. Okay. Picture. A play-by-post game can be made public. That means it will allow you to set a link you can send to anyone who will then be able to join the game as a spectator, not being able to interact at all, just to read everything. It won't be posted anywhere without your consent. It just allows you to access the link so that you can give it to people if you want to. And movement post I'll talk about later. So your games also live in your navigation sidebar under the game part. So now that we have created a game, you notice that there are 4 spaces. Here, in the game menu, you can access the settings of the game and the player menu. Here is the game chat to chat with your players. Here in the middle is a space to add a description to your game, explanations on how to create a character, rule sets, lore. You can write everything you want. Like that, add a page, and then you add blocks, text, or pictures if you want to, as you want. And here is the most important part. The chapters that are the roleplay chats where the story happens. You don't need several chapters, you can play with only one, but you can have several if you want to break your story in parts or in different places. So a chapter needs a picture, a name. You can set up a subtext if you want, that's purely optional, and you can number your chapter as you want. So, not that the players won't be able to see a chapter if none of the characters they play are in it. That's why you have access to this setting here. Choose realistic to prevent a player from being able to see the messages posted before the character arrived in the chapter. Choose open to let them read everything, regardless of if their character was here or not. So the chapters appear here. If you archive a chapter, you'll be able to find it back here. Click on the chapter to open it. Here is the roleplay chat in the middle. So note that my monitor is very wide. So I have the chat here, the roleplay chat here, the out of character chat here, and some menus here. On smaller monitors, the chat and the menus will be in the same box so that they all have enough space to be readable. So here is the out of character chat. here is the roleplay chat. And to use it, you need to add a character to it. So click here and click on the character you want to add. It's added when it's highlighted in green. Click outside the box, and now the Maya is in town. Notice the message here. It gets automatically added when a character arrives or leaves. You can toggle these messages in the game settings. We've seen that just before. So now that there's a character, we can talk. The character can also think. A thought can be hidden, that's great, or revealed to everyone. You can type a description. Or you can post an event styled message, just like this one. You can click here when you want to write a dialogue to add something like a stage direction. You can click here to add a picture to your post, and you can click here to roll a random table directly in the roleplay chat. There's a secret fourth option for guild members, and that's languages. I'll show you later with my guild member account. So from a chapter, you can access the codex too. You can see that here. That's the little entities icon. And you can even pin some entities in the top to access them more easily. You can set up a basic turn of order for combats. You can take personal notes. And most importantly, you can set up a scene. Scenes are like virtual tabletops. You can set up a backdrop or a battle map, have tokens on them. It's very useful even in a play-by-post game to know where everyone is. You can set up scenes directly in your codex or in the game. So when you set up a new scene, scenes can be linked to places. That's why there are a places menu here. When you create a new scene, you can choose between a classic scene, like it's for battle maps and backdrops, or whiteboard. I'm going to go with the classic scene. Let's go it. Happy done. Oh, I made it. So I haven't set up anything for my scene yet. So let's add a map on the board. So the little icons here are striped because there is no backdrop, there is no board, there is no overlay, and there is no music. I will allow a board. And notice that the menu expanded a little bit here, because now I can have a board. I'm going to upload a map, or, well, let's go for the tree. Up you have a map. You can you can rename it. Select it, apply. That's your map. And now that you do have a map, the menu expanded even more, and you can define light, change the grid, you can add different tokens and props, you can change the camera angle from top down to 3D. There's a lot you can do with scenes. But there are more detailed video tutorials for that. So for now, back to our play-by-post game. So there's one part we haven't looked at all up until now, it's this one here. That's character shortcuts. So here you have a shortcut to the entity description of your selected character. Here you have his sheet, his character sheet. Here you can set up dice rolls and macros. And the last buttons here are the settings and the print option, because if you are a paying member, you can print your chapters as PDFs. So now let's take a look at live play game. Basically, live play games are a collection of scenes. So live play game appears here. And the main difference with the play-by-post games is that they don't have the roleplay chat, and they have a more intense focus on the scenes. So creating a live play game automatically creates a corresponding scene in the codex. So see, if we go to our scenes, we will see Happyton and first game, which is this one that I've just created. There's nothing in it right now. And it appeared here. If I want to, I can add this scene to the live play too. It works exactly the same as I've just showed in the play-by-post game with the backdrop to the board. You can choose which one you want to activate, and it will expand the menu so that you will be able to add tokens and do all sorts of things with it. And finally, live play interface also has the turn order button, the codex quick access, the personal notes, and chats to chat with your players. So now you have games, you just need to invite players. In play-by-post game, you invite players through this menu. In a live play, you need to invite them through this one, and you can also invite them directly from the codex through this one. When you click invite players, it will give you a link. You can then copy and give your players. When they will click on the link, they will be automatically added to the game. Make sure you have them both in your games and your codex, because if you only give them the codex link, they won't be able to access the game. When you'll have players, you'll be able to set them into groups. There will be all player groups automatically. That's very useful to manage access rights to the codex entries. So when your players arrive, they will need a character in a chapter or in a scene to play. If you created a character for them, just like that, you need to go back to the entity and to its settings to edit it and to set the player as the player controls this character. If you did not create the characters beforehand, the players will be able to create them themselves, and it will be attributed to them automatically. Finally, note that you can favorite or archive chapters, games, and codices. Archived stories will, I want to archive it, will live here under this one. You can find it there. And if you set up something as a favorite, it will happen in this favorite subsection. And if you make several of them your favorites, you can rearrange them however you wish. So now let me show you what an entirely set up game can look like using my main account. So here is the homepage. Here is my navigation sidebar. You notice it's quite full. I have a few games and codices already. And I mainly use my favorite tab. I have set it up the way I need it, and it's basically all I ever use. So here is an example of Codex. So I have quite a lot of entities, and you'll notice I have custom tabs. I did that thanks to tags, because when you create tags, then you apply them to different entities in your codex. You can choose a little icon for the tag, and you can set them up as folder. And when you do that, you have this view that appears, and your tags you set up as folders become your new tabs. That's very cool because there are a lot of different little icons. I needed that because the usual group by type tags wasn't doing it for me, because in this game in this codex, sorry, I have 2 games at the same time with different players, and I needed 2 different character tabs. So I did my own thing. You also notice that I made a few filtered views for my codex because it's useful on a day-to-day basis. And yeah, here's my codex. It's very cool, and let me show you something even cooler. That's the dialect. So when you're a paid user and you're the GM of a game, you can create dialects that the characters can speak. You can invent as many as you want. It works like that. When there is a character who is able to speak a language and they post a message in this language, the characters that don't understand the language will see it as a font they can understand. You can choose the font you want from all the fonts that there are here. And if the character suddenly understands the language, it will look like that. It's a very cool feature, and it's really worth it. So that's enough for the codex. Let's see what game looks like. So that's my demo game. Here is the game chat, and you'll notice all the different character chats with different players, because there are a lot of players in this game. Here is my presentation and my chapters. The archive chapters are here, and notice that I have numbered them with little points to better organize them. Here is the active chapter, and here you'll see an example of the language playing. If I select a character that can indeed understand the language, it appears clearly. So now you know everything there is to know to create your own game in Harpy. Let's go and have fun!